Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Goodeaux. I am a connection coach and I focus on whole body natural health and help others rediscover their voice. This class is going to be focusing on stress and Candida. I am also the admin of Candida Overgrowth Discussions on Facebook, and I am the founder of Connected Coaching Academy. And I really just want to focus on how stress and Candida are connected to one another. But I really want to introduce myself further. So, my educational background, what qualifies me to even talk about this at all, I'm finishing my schooling, getting a bachelor's of science in integrative health sciences. My certifications include integrative nutrition, alchemical and evolutionary herbalism, and transformation coaching. And it's been a blast doing all that stuff. So not only am I educated as far as natural health goes, I also focus on whole body nutrition. I can tell you about how to use herbs and essential oils effectively in a healthy way, homeopathy. And while these disciplines definitely have their specialties, these are all the things that I'm trained in. So, what is stress? Stress is a hormonal response that we have to the changes in our environment. So, it can be both beneficial and keep us alive and help us adapt. And so, these are all necessary responses that we have to what goes on in our lives. So, this is how evolutionary changes happen. It's a good instinct to have. And so I don't want us to walk away thinking all the time that stress is this terrible thing because it's truly not. It does have a purpose, but it can also cause damage whenever we excessively stay in this state, right? Um, so the way that we can manage it is to practice some different lifestyle choices. So, EFT, for example, this is one of my favorite ways of managing stress. It's emotional freedom tapping. And so, you basically tap on certain meridians in your body that correlate to certain parts of your brain that turn on the rest and digest part of your system. So, you have your stress, fight or flight, and then you have your rest and digest. And it's just because a lot of us in our life, we have developed a way of living that keeps us in this fight or flight mode where we constantly think that we're in danger. And even though danger doesn't look like running from a tiger anymore, it's now I have to make sure I pay my bills. I have to make sure I get the dinner ready. I have to make sure, there are these different types of survival instincts that we have. So by activating our rest and digest system, we can tell our brain, hey, we're dealing with these things. And yes, we're feeling it and we're living it. And that's okay. It's part of life. And now we're just going to take a moment to just breathe and exist. And so there are other self-care practices that we can do to turn this on. So, for example, reading, meditation, journaling. There are lots of creative habits. And this is why I feel like creativity is so important. Not everybody relates to creativity, and that's okay. But I feel like creativity is a very necessary part of living a holistic lifestyle. And of course, we have remedies that we can use that help. So like neurotropics and nervines and that sort of thing. So using EFT as a tool, this allows you to access the rest and digest part of the brain, just to reiterate that, and being present and mindful to the situation is what is allowing that room to experience our feelings safely. So a lot of us, whenever we are experiencing stress, we run from it or we find a different way to go around the problem. We fight back at it with anger, for example, or we aren't really actually just sitting with ourselves and saying, hey, I see you. And that's really as soon as you kind of approach life with that and the situation with that, it's like the stress around it just dissolves to nothing. it's hard to describe unless you start experiencing it. And I know there are plenty of us out there who practice these methods. So if you've done it, of course you understand that. But once we are willing to let ourselves be in that space, it's just the stress kind of dissolves, and then it doesn't seem so scary to deal with anymore. It doesn't make the problem go away, but it makes us feel like we're capable of dealing with it in a different way. And so safety is really what we're going for. And EFT is such a wonderful tool. Soldiers with PTSD have used it and have had a tremendous success with it. And it's just really, really, really fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. And of course, we have other self-care methods. And we like to think of self-care as like, oh, put on a bubble, take a bubble bath and put some candles on. And, it's not just sitting in bed, eating favorite junk foods and watching movies. It's the actual habitual act of saying, I love you and I care about you, and I'm going to take care of you because you are the vessel that I live with. I spend my entire life with you every single day, all the time. And I'm here and I'm showing up for you. And I care about what you have to say and what you think and what you feel. That is self-care. And we do this by doing these fun activities that we enjoy, but it's more about being present with ourselves. Just similar to EFT, being present with ourselves, but also just giving some actual genuine love to ourselves. And some supportive remedies, we don't want to use them in the sense of we don't want to cover up our symptoms by using remedies that will take away our stress. It's not how it works. But they can definitely support us through the healing process. And especially when you're going, so let's say you are detoxing from something like Candida. I know, especially in my case, because it had gone into my nerves, several infections had gone into my nerves. My anxiety was so bad that I was in the hospital every couple of weeks at times because I was convinced I was dying. I actually put myself into a full-blown panic attack and hyperventilation where my entire body locked up, and it was just terrible because I was so anxious, but I had detoxed so hard using so many remedies all at once. And this is why it's really important, guys. Make sure that no matter what you are doing, do not try to go full blast. I know you want to be healthy and you want to be over it as quickly as possible. Believe me, I got so sick that I got to 63 pounds and nearly died because I was so sick. And I'm still recovering because I am still malnourished. I get it. You want to be there already. And I cannot stress enough that if you try to go too fast, you will hurt yourself. And it will just make it last longer. I know it sounds like something like the worst thing to hear from somebody. And it's not easy to hear and it's not easy to accept. But I really want to stress that to everybody. Healing in a steady pace is a lot more effective and a lot more safe for the body. Because guess what? Even if you do kill all of those toxins all at once and flush it from your system, the toxins have to go somewhere. Even if you're taking binders, they are going into your system. And so you're actually making your entire system a toxic waste. And it's so much harder on your body to do it that way. So please just be safe, go slow and steady, and work with multiple professionals and build a team of people who are dedicated to taking care of you and want your best interest in your health, and listen to them. Trust your body, trust what you're feeling, but they are there to serve you. So allow them to serve you because they have trained experience. So remember, it's very important to be patient through the process because healing does not happen overnight. and it's dynamic. And so one moment you feel like you can take on the world because you're finally getting your life back. And then the next minute you are in bed, unable to get out again because you're going through another one of the roller coaster rides. It's a process and you just have to keep going. And sometimes the only thing you can do is literally take it by the hour. I know there were plenty of times where I thought it would just be easier if I could just stay in bed and just not even try to eat ever again because it wasn't worth it. I was too scared to keep trying to eat, and I was too scared to try and keep going for myself. But of course, practicing these mindful tips and using nervines and just really helping yourself get through this, that's how you just take it 1 hour at a time. And then next thing you know, I'm working full time again. It's hard. It is really, really hard, especially going to school and especially doing all these other training certifications and all these wonderful things, getting my business up. But you know what? I never would have thought that I would be here by now. And it's only because I was able to take it one day at a time. So don't give up and be patient with yourself. And of course, I am always here to answer questions and offer my help to the best of my ability. And general advice is just not the same as taking an actual case. And that's why I'm not mentioning any specific remedies here, just because while self-care and meditation and even types of movement, so like not even just exercise. I don't really like to use the word exercise anymore because of a fantastic nutrition teacher and homeopathic teacher that I have. She emphasizes that movement is important. And whether that looks like walking or yoga or something intense like bodybuilding for you, as long as you're moving your body, that's really important. And it's really great act of self-care. But guess what? All of these things are very dynamic for each individual, and even diet is very individual. So what works for one person won't necessarily work for another. And so that's why I don't get specific in these classes. It's not because I'm trying to withhold information. It's just because I'm actually just trying to be safe and responsible for you. Because yes, there are different things like skull cap, for example, or vervain, or lavender, or St. John's wort. There are all these wonderful things that you can use to help your body relax. But again, all you can do is research on your own and decide. But I don't like to recommend doing that because there are certain types of anxiety. Some people have the anxiety where they get really restless and have to move and then they collapse because they need rest. And other people have like a brain anxiety where they just can't stop circulating the same thoughts over and over and over and over again. And so these two types of anxiety need to be dealt with differently because guess what? There's an entire person going on there. There are other infections, or there are other diets to consider. There are other lifestyle factors. You have all this beautiful, amazing stuff about you. So let us take care of you as a person and not just as a symptom. You are worth more than that. But as always, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns. So you can just mention or tag me with my name. Of course, you can reach out Facebook Messenger and my Facebook page in general. And I have Calendly, so you can schedule a free appointment and session with me if you would like. And we can just discuss whether that's wanting to do transformation coaching, where you just want to really empower your life and get your life back on track, and stop feeling stuck and feel empowered again. Or if you just want to focus on the physical, really it's all the same. I look at the full body no matter what. But the point is that the power is in your hands, and what you want to focus on, that's what we will focus on. And I will just be here to support your entire journey along the way. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And let me know if you have any questions or feedback for me. So thank you.